Okay, so Solomon, you secured your role before leaving university, a graduate role, if I'm correct. So what advice would you give to students that are still at university trying to secure a role before they leave, just like you did?
Cool. This is an interesting question because I think advice tailors to your situation. But similar to Reggie, the way I try to think of it is I set a big goal and I reverse engineer. So if I think of how I even got into finance, very, very similar. I said, okay, what do these people with briefcases walk in the city do? I asked the question, I found out, and then I did the steps in between. So taking it back, I managed to go to a good university and there was a network there. The easiest thing for me was to ask the question. So I asked, how did you do it? Then I found out about spring insight weeks, summer internships. But then that comes to with its own challenge with cover letters, CVs, interviews. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, think of the bigger question and find out the individual steps and execute as well as you can. And there's something that I live by now, which is every kind of question you have or problem you have, it might sound crude, but it's a problem of ignorance because someone's been through that journey before. So I wasn't the first person to ever pursue investment banking. People have done it before. So I just used my network. Fortunately, I was in a football team. I was able to ask those guys, whether it was the people that went out, anyone I could seek that could make my journey a lot more smoother, I asked. So yeah, in a long story short, asked the right questions, did the kind of spring internships and did the summer. Didn't get my first summer, but obviously I leveraged off the benefit of the experience and managed to secure a full-time offer.
Okay, there seems to be a bit of a correlation with the football and the finance here. um, but yeah, no, that's amazing. And just to touch on that, you said you didn't get your first one that you applied for. Some people would feel demotivated by that or a bit like, what would you say is the best approach to dealing with that and moving on and using it to help you?
Sure, you got to just think of the way the world works, things are not handed to you. You have to kind of go and execute. So I think for me, I was always someone with probably great perseverance. So I wasn't willing to say no. I didn't think like, I feel like you're deserving of whatever you can put your mind to. And I think for me, it was like, okay, I didn't get my first internship or I didn't get my first offer. What can I do next? There are people that have done it in their second, third. I heard some stories, in investment banking. I think I went to a networking event and someone said he was in the military and then he went back into investment banking. So as Reggie would know, people go through all shapes and walks of life. They take different turns and pivots, but as long as like you execute on the final goal, and that was kind of my mentality and thinking.